All right, guys. We are going to go through your checkpoint quiz here. Just kind of walk you through some things. So, number one, molarity is just the word molarity. Okay, is the moles of a solute, which is the solid divided by the liters of solution. So the equation is that, right? It's just basically asking what the equation is. Okay. Number two, we're talking about how we make solutions. Just remember the solute is whatever the solid is, right? The solvent is what does the dissolving, and it's usually just water, right? So we add the solute to the solvent, we make a solution. So, and the solution has particles, obviously doing that. So in the case of our, Kool-Aid lab that we did yesterday, with the Kool-Aid was the solute and the water was the solvent. And just a couple more questions about that, right? So whatever, water will always be the solvent, right? So whatever you're doing, whatever's doing the dissolving. So if you're making lemonade, the solid is lemonade, solute, and then in the case of this one too, calcium chloride for number 3, right? So just kind of walks you through, just the terms. That's just on the front page of your notes as well. Okay. Number 5 is a part 1 question from your notes. Okay. It is simply just plug and chug, right? So remember, we just have this equation. Molarity is moles over liters, right? And it has to fit those units, right? So you just plug in what you need, right? So moles goes up top, liters goes on the bottom, right? So liters goes on the bottom. Okay. And that's kind of how you plug it in. The answer is 2.06 for number 5. Back page, you have, now we're given this is like part 2 of your notes. Okay, so part 2, if you are given 210 grams of calcium chloride dissolved in enough water to make up 2 liters of solution, what will be the molarity? So the first step that you need to do is we need to convert this number, grams, to moles, right? So we got to convert grams to moles, and once we do that, we're able to plug it into our equation, because you got molarity is moles over liter. It has to be in moles and it has to be in liters. You cannot just put the grams into the mole spot, right? So once we get that, you can fire that in there, okay? And then over 2 liters. So you just plug that in. How I got this number, remember, is you added up 1 Ca and 2 Cls, and that's how you get the molar mass that way. Okay. So that's like part 2 of your notes if you need help. Number 7 is rearranging the molarity equation, like part 4. So now we're asking how many moles. So we're solving for moles. So if you just do the algebra, it's molarity times liters, and you just can plug it in and you get 0.9 moles. Okay. Number 8 is just like lab. Okay, so if you were to make the solution, if you wanted to make this solution, so you wanted to make that concentration at that amount, right? So the first thing that you would do to make that solution is you would have to figure out how many, we ultimately want to figure out how many grams we need to add, right? So step 1 would be solve for moles, okay, and using the molarity equation. So we're going to solve for moles. Once we solve for moles, then we can solve for grams, all right? So if you look at it like this, okay, solve for moles. So I use the moles equation, molarity times liters. So I just use what I'm given. So I'm using, if I have 0.4 molar, okay, 200 milliliters is 0.2 liters. So remember, to get that, you just divide by 1,000. You got to get it to liters, right? So that's that right there. Okay, and that leaves us with 0.08 moles. Okay, so now when you do this, the bracket's flipped because you need moles on the bottom to get into grams. So the grams goes on top, right? So 0.8 times 110.98. So how I got the 110.98 was I added up Ca, 1 Ca, and 2 Cls, right? That's 110.98, and that's going to give us 8.78 grams. All right, so then what you would do then is you would say, all right, I converted moles to grams, check, right there, right? So this would be step 1. This would be step 2. Okay, and then to physically make the solution, okay, you would add water first, and then you would add the 8.78 grams, okay, to the 2 liters or 0.2 liters of water. So that one's got a lot of moving parts. It's just like our Kool-Aid lab we did yesterday. I mean, if you can do that one, you truly do understand molarity and how to make a solution. So number 9, what are the key characteristics of an oversaturated solution? This is on the front page of your notes. And basically, if you have a solution, if you have solid sitting on the bottom, right? If you just have, you have some of it's all dissolved, but then if you add so much that there's solid on the bottom, that basically means it's oversaturated. You can't dissolve anymore. So the good Kool-Aid. So that's how you do it. Just rate your score on 9. Do your best to infer on those other questions. Rate your score on a 9. I'll take a look at them tomorrow. Okay.